But the thing is I wanted to kind of preface a lot of this with basically saying a lot of this stuff is still in its infancy and it's still basically in test phases. Midnight Network secures Google Cloud partnership. Midnight announced its partnership with Google Cloud on Tuesday to accelerate its digital infrastructure. Apart from the network infrastructure, Google Cloud will provide confidential computing and mandiant threat monitoring services and extend support to developers with $200,000 in credit via the Google for Startups Web3 program. This is huge. And here's the thing. I've been having discussions with someone at IOHK where I didn't realize, I mean, we've been kind of going back and forth for a month. And it's been a lot of just kind of Q&A, right? A lot of just, what do you think about this? And what would you do here? And I didn't realize I was basically being interviewed for a month. And there's nothing to really say yet, but I will say that there's a chance that I may be in a position to establish a division, a group maybe, specifically focused on helping developers build applications for Cardano, potentially Midnight. Even though Midnight hasn't really been part of the conversation, it's been primarily Cardano, but as well as establishing marketing plans around them. And because there are a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I've been saying for a while that Cardano needs as a blockchain to be competitive with a lot of the more centralized blockchains. And these are all the things that I would do. These are all the things I would love to do. I wish this would happen. I wish that would happen. And we're kind of at a conversational point where it's like, well, maybe you should do that. And maybe we will help you do that. But nothing's concrete. And a lot of it's just kind of, going back and forth still in discussion, but it's getting a little bit more serious. And I would love to be able to do something like that. And a lot of that is probably going to end up boiling down to a treasury proposal at some time in the future. And so when I see stuff like this with Midnight, and I've been reading so many things, and generally, I go live every day, or I do a video at least, where I'm sharing all of the sentiment and a lot of the information from these. But I've been really at a point where I've been paying more attention to where everything is going. Here's something that I want to explain real quick before I get into any other like price predictions or anything. Well, let's go ahead and touch on this. On-chain data signals a decline in selling pressure. It's just less people are selling their ADA right now. They know that we're getting to a point where it's likely going to go up before it goes down. And if it goes down, it's probably a short-term correction before another leg up. And we're going to touch back on price a little, here and there through this video. I really think we end up ranging through this area throughout the weekend. We've got trap traders to the upside, to the downside. We probably range around here through the weekend until we get into Sunday. Now, that is all from sentiment or sentiment, which I need to go back and start using them. But Cardano holds near the 100-day EMA at 80 cents following a doji candle formation on Tuesday. So this is obviously before we got our big pump into like the 86, 87 cent range. Finally put my trade at profit. I was down like 20 grand in my trade, and now I'm at profit again. And it's just been kind of dancing around in that area. And I'm in a 4X trade with added margin. Okay. So like I've really tried to reduce my liquidity point to a level that if the price goes down, I don't have to necessarily start sweating or load up the coffers to try and add more margin to buy the price down. The momentum indicators on the daily chart corroborate the waning selling pressure at the relative strength index. Okay. That's all fine and dandy. Overall, I think we're going to be going up, hopefully. But the market makers love to play with people and really scare the shit out of everyone so that they exit their positions. And I think that fear is starting to wane, and we're going to start seeing more positive price momentum. Now, this is another thing that I want to touch on. Treasury to exempt Bitcoin from 15% CAMT tax on unrealized gains, saving strategy billions. Treasury to exempt Bitcoin from 15% on unrealized gains. Saving strategy billions on $27 billion in paper profits. There's a lot of stuff happening in the taxation. There's a lot of stuff that the Trump administration is doing to kind of facilitate people being able to invest in crypto and not be taxed to death for it. What I find is interesting is Trump is also the one who basically pushed the Bitcoin tax in his first term. Pissed me the hell off. I remember doing videos all about it. And I think at the time, he just didn't understand. I really do. I don't think he understood. I don't think he understood the asset. I don't think he knew much about it. And I think since then, I think he's realized what's happened, right? So real quick, I also want to touch on Wargram. So you can visit wargram.io. This is my Cardano-based trading card game. Now, I'm going to tell everybody this. This is going to be a cross-chain game, just so you guys know. It's very likely we're going to be building this not just for Cardano, but we're probably also going to put it on Base because it just seems to make the most sense. And potentially some other chains in the future, but we'll see. You can mint boosters now. I think we've done about $4,000 in sales so far. It's still sitting there. We're still trying to figure out what would be better off doing with it. Do we want to continue adding the other cards in the set? Because there's like 240 cards, I think, in the first set. I think only, I think maybe 60 or maybe 100 of them are in the. Actually, they're complete. It's not even. I think it's just the starter sets that we have in the game right now. I don't think we've touched on the 240 cards that have already been done for the first set.